How's it going, everybody? Doug Lane here, Fast Lane Car Care. So last week, you guys might remember, I posted this video of a guy named Ralph Van Pelt. He's a world championship tinter. He owns a film company, produces a lot of great window tinting film content on YouTube. And he had some challenge. It was like you can only tint windows with a driver's license, a paper towel, and like some glass cleaner or whatever. So, and a razor blade. So I got my driver's license. Now, I modified my driver's license. This wasn't explicitly listed in the rules, but I slapped some masking tape over my sensitive information because I don't want you good creepers to, know all that good stuff. I got me some paper towels, the nice and linty kind, which is exactly what you don't want to use. And I didn't have a 1-inch razor blade, so I used, or I guess I will be using, one of these. Came from this pack of free razor blades that I got like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, with a utility knife or something like that. So they're probably not the greatest. Whoops. Now, he was talking about being a hack and having to put everything inside the car, or, not having a table or whatever. I'm using a table, hair dryer. You can't use a heat gun. You have to use a hair dryer. Well, I've got the table set up because I'm using this fancy hair dryer that I'm borrowing from my girlfriend, so hopefully she doesn't watch this video all the way through. Otherwise I might die, but I cannot get this thing dirty, break it, anything, or else I will be dead for sure. So I'm using the table to keep my stuff on. Don't like it, whatever. So this already had window tint on the inside. Whoops. Because, I roll around with tinted windows often, all the time, tint everything. And so, I guess technically the inside's pretty much clean because I had to remove the old tint. And his video, he did it on fresh glass, so it's kind of cheating. In my book, I'm kind of cheating, but I'm not going to risk cutting with one of these when I'm used to cutting with one of these. Much more precise tip, just better to hold on to, easier to control. I don't want to scratch somebody else's glass and then have to buy them a new window or something like that. So if I scratch my glass, whatever, it is what it is. And so obviously to do that, I had to remove my old window tint, and when I get this done, I'm fairly confident I can make this look good. So when I get this done, I'm just going to leave it. This isn't just for a video. I'm going to just peel it back off and redo it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to leave it. So we got our outside clean. Next thing I want to do is apply some slip solution so I can get my window film up here. And I just got a scrap piece here. See which way we're going. As you can see, the cuts, it's all bobbled up. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. Should be enough. Should be, yeah, perfect. Should be enough. Now I've got it just a little bit below the seals. That's where I like it. Putting it down here guarantees that when I go to the inside, I'll have enough film to go behind, underneath this steel, so I'll never have to worry about this peeling. And obviously I won't have to worry about any light gaps. So, I guess let's just try to tack this down a little bit. This is going to be a lot of fun. So normally you'd use a nice hard squeegee, evacuate a lot of that water out of there. This would, be tacked down really well, but I guess we'll just see what happens. So we'll start over here. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut some of this excess off so it's just not hanging out up here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this film up just a little bit, shift it over just slightly, so that way when I make this cut and go to the inside, everything will be tucked in behind the seal, so there won't be any light gaps or anything like that. So I think you have to consider every car is going to be different with your seals. Some have wider seals than others. If you cut this pattern too wide, it just won't work. It'll fight you every step of the way. You end up getting a lot of contamination in the sides, which will be little dirt specks, stuff like that. So you just got to kind of get a feel for it. And I've tinted this window like way too many times to count, to be honest. So. Move it back just ever so slightly. Bring it up just a little bit. Now normally I would use what's called a shank on the insides to pull this inner seal. Just pull it back so I can get that film down in there real nice and easy without it creasing or anything like that. I can't use this for this challenge, so I don't want too much excess down here, or it's gonna be a lot more difficult to manage. So that's why I'm shifting it up just a little bit. I'll still have plenty of film to tuck and clear my gaps, but I'm just trying to get it to exactly where I want it. I think that should do. Get some more of this water out so it doesn't slip when I roll the window down. Otherwise that'll mess up my top cut and could be pretty detrimental to what we're trying to do. Now I put some more slip solution in here, and what I want to do is I want to squeegee this out like this so I can get this edge to stick down to the glass. That way I can really get a good shape on this top edge here, make it look really nice. It would be nice if I had my work light inside so I could just see a little bit better, but that wasn't mentioned in the challenge, so we're going to do it without. Now we got this little edge right here we're going to clean up. An important thing to remember is we're going to have a pinch point right here in this corner seal when the window rolls up and down. So we want it to be, we don't want a light gap when the window's rolled up, obviously, and I like to keep it as close to that edge as possible. But I'm going to just kind of connect the dots, so to speak, but I'm going to cut just a little bit more off than I really need to, just to ensure that we don't peel this off first time we roll it down. Alright, same way with our bottom corners here. We don't want any like 90-degree sharp edges. We want to kind of curve them a little bit. Same way, just in case anything catches on these seals or whatever, they're just less likely to peel. Bring this up a little bit. Now normally I would go a little bit faster here, but I'm using a razor blade and I'm really not used to cutting with it, so I just want to be extra delicate. There we go. Really take my time, make sure I get nice clean cuts. I don't know if you'll be able to tell here on the glass, but when I started cutting this top edge, because it's kind of difficult to judge how far in you are with the blade, I was trying to not cut this corner seal here, so my cut just kind of goes up just a little bit. Not a big deal because we're going to clean it up. I'm going to show you a little trick how to do that. Convenient thing about the driver's license is I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 straight edges. We're going to make this cut, tack this down a little bit, and we'll just clean up this first cut right here. Now, come back across this way. Cut a little masking tape off there, that's okay. So now same deal with the other corners. We don't want this real sharp edge. So I'm just gonna come in and I'm just gonna kind of make a little corner, nice little curve. And that is pretty clean for a regular old razor blade. Now the next step we're going to do, as you can see, we kind of have just a little bit of a finger here. We're going to need to heat shrink this. I'm going to show you guys a double snap technique. It's really not super necessary. On this one, I know I can do it without shrinking it. However, if I would get a finger on the inside, I could just heat it up with a heat gun and knock it out. Wouldn't be a big deal. But I have to use a hair dryer, so a hair dryer is not going to get anywhere near as hot. I just don't know how well it's going to shrink. So what we'll do is come back to the driver's license here. Tack this down. Just kind of see if we do have any fingers. See that one squeegeed out, so just how it was laying. And then I've got it up on the sides of each seal, so we've got this kind of arc effect. I mean, it looks good. So we'll still just shrink it to be sure, because like I said, if I do have a finger on the inside, I'm not going to be able to fix it more than likely. So get this heated up, get it nice and warm. This film shrinks pretty easy, so what we're going to do is we're going to lift it up about 6 inches or so. Just let it fall. Let's see if this hair dryer will shrink it. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's laying down smooth, which is what we want, it's what we need. I don't really know how much of a shrinking effect actually took place. I don't know if it'll even pick it up on camera, but it's starting to dance a little bit, starting to come together. What this does is double shrink technique. We leave the outsides here, so this inside wants to be pulled in. And so when we go to put this on the inside of the film, or on the inside of the window, the film wants to draw itself in just from how it was shrunk. So that's why we do it. Now we need to prep the inside of the glass. Okay, inside the glass, same thing. What we're going to do, use slip solution. I'm going to use the razor blade just to kind of feel around, make sure there's no hardened particles, no blue specks or anything like that. Which, like I said, there should not be, simply because I've already prepped this. I had to remove the old window film and it came off really, really clean. But you cannot have a window that is too clean, so it doesn't hurt just to go over it again, just to double check, make sure. I know a lot of guys really, really enjoy using the razor blade. They clean all their windows like that. It works. The unfortunate thing is, glass is somewhat porous, so you can blade the window and get rid of all the hardened particles, but you can still have stuff in the pores that will make it not want to stick. So that's why I like to use a scrub pad with my cleaner. Use one of my other paper towels here. Clean off this blade. Now we're going to switch to the driver's license, and I'm basically going to use it as a squeegee. Just to get anything like dirt particles, dust particles, stuff like that. I want to get it. I want to get it into the sides, so not in the main, area of the glass. And then once I'm done with that, I'll sweep it all down. So hopefully, if I do it right, everything goes well. It will not end up in the film at all. So that's the plan, that's the goal. I always like to do my top edge. So look at that. Even though I've already cleaned this, I've still got that little bit of dirt, and what can happen is when I go to put this on, it could potentially, this dirt or dust could potentially get pulled in to the film and make it more difficult for it to stick. And if it's a big enough particle, you can see it in the film, which would just take away from the appearance. Alright, so this cut is a little bit not what I want it to be, but that's okay. Everything else seems to be pretty good except for over here. I don't know what happened, probably just the angle of the blade, since obviously, like I said, I'm not used to cutting with a razor blade. Not the end of the world. We'll just squeegee this down really good, make sure it's on there real firm, and we'll try to wet shave it. May go well, may ruin it. We'll see. I don't really particularly care to wet shave. I don't even like to dry shave, to be honest. I like to cut it when it's on the outside. It just always comes out better that way to me. But it can be done. So now it's not catching. Nothing's catching, we're good to go. Now we're ready for the next step, which is roll up the window. Actually, let's use our last paper towel. Dry this outside off. I don't see any big pockets of water, so we should be fine. So now I'm just using my driver's license here to pull this seal back and just kind of feed this film in. I can see I got some air bubbles right here, some moisture bubbles. We'll just go ahead and we'll bring these. I don't want to bring them to this top edge because I don't want to roll this window down. So I'm going to bring it down and into the corner. Just like that. This would work a lot easier with a better squeegee, but you know. I've got just the slightest little crease from where we two-staged it. We'll just heat that up with the hair dryer. First, let me clean this window so you can actually see. Alright. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. Right here, we've got just a little tiny bubble. And that's just from doing the two-stage method. It's that way I don't have to remove door seals, anything like that. Not even a big deal. Alright, let me take you guys off the tripod here real quick. So, this right here, this scratch on the glass right here, it's not from this. If you watched the video, you saw I cut like up in here. This is from like the first time I tinted this a long time ago. No nothing, no big air bubbles, no moisture pockets. You'll see that the window still looks a little bit streaky. Hopefully that'll come up on camera. And what that is that's just the residual moisture is trapped. Every car you ever tint, no matter how much you hard tool, no matter what squeegee you get, it's still going to look a little bit streaky. It just needs to dry out. So right now, I mean, it's winter time, so it's not going to dry that fast at all. But put this out in the sun for a couple days, and that streakiness is going to go away. And you know what? I'm pretty impressed with myself, to be honest, that I just tinted this window. And I mean, professional job. You really can't find anything wrong with it. With a freaking razor blade, three linty paper towels, a driver's license, a junk razor blade, whatever it is, and I mean, it looks that good. So I'm pretty stoked about this.